All right, so we're going to look at how to subtract decimals. So first, we have 2 and 63 hundredths, and then we're subtracting from it 1 and 9 tenths. So unlike addition, you have to put these numbers in the order that you see. So the first number here has to go on top. It's not like addition where you can switch the numbers around. So 2 and 63 hundredths goes on top, and then 1 and 9 tenths will go on the bottom. So just like before, I'm going to put the decimal first, and that's going to help me know where to put all these pieces. So that 1 over here, and this 9 tenths right here in the tenths column. Now this is really important, just like with addition. I want you guys to fill in the gaps with zeros. It's going to be really important when we go to the next problem. So set up our subtraction column. Just like with addition, make sure before you subtract, you drop the decimal point straight down into the difference. You have 3 minus 0, so we have 3. And then right here, this is where you have to know if you have to regroup or not. The top number, if the top number is smaller than the bottom number, you have to regroup. Right, guys? Just remember, top number smaller than the bottom number, you're going to end up regrouping. You can't subtract 9 from 6. We don't have enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something called regrouping. So we're going to go over to the ones over here, and we're going to regroup one whole from here. So right now we're left with one whole. Over here, we're going to take that one whole and we're going to rename it as 10 tenths. So this is now going to be 6 plus 10, which is 16 tenths. So you'll see, maybe some of your teachers in the past taught you to just put a 1 in front of that 6. In my class, I want to see you rewrite that 16 tenths on the top like that. That's how you're going to get full credit on these kind of problems. So now we can subtract. We have 16 tenths, take away 9 tenths, and we'll have 7 tenths. Over here, we have one whole minus one whole, and we'll end up with 0. So the final answer or difference is 73 hundredths. So this is the kind of work I want to see right here, the regrouping. If I do not see that work, I'm going to say that you cheated and you're going to redo the entire problem. So this next problem right here, we have a whole number, 34, and we're going to be subtracting 2 and 678 thousandths. So I'm going to start with 34 on the top. Remember, we cannot change the order. I know some of you want to put this on top because it has more digits, but we can't do that with subtraction. So 34 does have a decimal point. We're going to put it right there. I'm going to place a decimal point here, line them up perfectly for the next number. The 2 goes in the 1 column, and then the 678 thousandths is going to hang out over here. Now you can see this problem looks really awkward. So what we're going to do is, just as before, we're going to fill in the gaps with zeros, 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 and now we're going to subtract. So first, as always, make sure you bring down the decimal point. Now, I'm going to tell you this, just like I tell my kids every single year. If you see zeros on the top in subtraction, that's bad news. Zeros on the top means you always have to regroup, unless you have a 0 on the bottom too. So anytime you see zeros on top, just go, oh man, that sucks. So we have to regroup. We can't subtract 8 from nothing, so we have to regroup from over here, but there's nothing over here. There's also nothing over here in the tens column. So we're going to regroup over here from the ones. So we're going to remove or regroup one whole 1. So now we're left with 3. And then we're going to take that one whole and we're going to rename it into 10 tenths. But remember, we still need to keep regrouping on down until we can subtract in the thousandths column. So we're going to remove 1 tenth. We're left with 9 tenths. Over here, that 1 tenth we renamed as 10 hundredths. But we need to keep on regrouping. So we're going to remove 1 hundredth. So we're left with 9 hundredths. And that 1 hundredth is going to be renamed into 10 thousandths. So you see this? This is like, it's almost like a chain reaction of regrouping here. So we have 10 thousandths minus 8 thousandths, which is 2 thousandths. 9 hundredths minus 7 hundredths, which is 2 hundredths. And then 9 tenths minus 6 tenths, which is 3 tenths. And then over here, we have 33 minus 2, which is 31. So this right here is probably the most complicated subtraction problem you'll see, where you have a bunch of zeros on top. So your final difference is 31 and 322 thousandths.